Mike, we are live. Julia, we are live.
About time.
About time. Good morning.
And right on time, or practically.
Pretty much. Only a minute late.
Wow.
Not bad.
Not bad for us.
Good morning,
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Coming at you
With music and fun.
live from the Secret
Did we ever
Stash.
do that before?
Music and fun.
The Fat Albert.
Oh,
Coming at you with music and fun. If you ain't careful, you might learn something before
Before
you're
it's
done.
So check it out.
Hi.
Oh my God. It's
Love that.
it's Christian Cortez coming at you with music and fun. If you're not careful, you learn something before it's done. So let's get started, okay? Hey. There you go.
Oh, we should do that.
And then
That
you
would be
can
so
append
cool.
your fame, your now famous
My now fame.
tagline, Michael.
What?
Talk nerdy
Talk
to me.
nerdy to me?
There we go. There we go.
Talk
We're
nerdy
gonna
to
have
me.
some-
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Live from the Secret Stash. I am Christian Cortez, joined always by
Michael Zapsik and the beautiful.
Julia's absent.
And we've got somebody coming today soon, but he ain't here yet. He got hung up in traffic.
Yep.
So
Chris Campana will be joining us.
soon.
Yeah,
Sooner.
absolutely.
where is the wizardry? You're supposed to be like, somebody's going to be coming. I'm not telling you who.
Surprise.
You gotta amp them up.
Tease
But
it,
hey,
tease
yeah,
it.
tease it.
My favorite comment so far. We may learn something. Julia's word of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, that's true.
and
That's
my
true.
comics college, but that's
Yes.
next week. Or no, no when we come back, because we're actually going to take a breather.
Yeah,
next
but you
week.
That's right,
didn't
that's
do
right.
the comics college. But I've got, oh yes, and of course he's here now.
Yeah, I'll
so
go get him. I'll go get him.
you're awesome.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Just
And
start.
I'm gonna go get him in 1 second.
No worries.
So, I'm going to say it right now.
We're going to start off with
Last
this.
week, we're going to start off with this because I have to. Folks, every once in a while, I am unable. I do a top 5 comics, and there are weeks that, unfortunately, I don't get a chance to read the entire comic through, and I will skim, which is it's just what I do. I
Yeah.
don't read the whole thing completely.
You're human. You're
I
running
just-
a business.
you know,
Two
you flip
businesses.
through, you're like 2, and we're putting out a podcast,
Yeah.
or 12, and I'm like, this is great. So, I've got 2 great tastes that taste great together. I've got Miles Morales and What If, and I've read the other ones. There were 3 before this, so I was like, I'm pretty confident in this. I'm pretty confident in What If Miles Morales became Thor
Yeah.
as a comic book, and this is the one that I had
Recommended.
I recommended it. Hello, Chris.
And
Recommended this last week, and I'm like, how can this go wrong?
Yeah.
There's no way. And
with the context clues that were there,
Yeah.
we were led to believe that this was a cool ass comic
Yeah.
book.
and you're skimming, and there's a lot of words in here, folks.
There-
So
no,
I'm like,
are
all right,
there?
God damn
Are
it.
there
I'm like,
words
all right,
in here?
No, lots of words. So I'm like, all right, anything that I need to know, boo, and then right at the end, the hook for next time, which I'm like, that is badass. Which you should pick this up for just the hook at the end, but the writing, kind of atrocious.
It ain't
And-
there.
No, it's there. It just shouldn't be. No, it's just no,
That's that. Okay.
By
Yeah.
Odin's Fade.
By Odin's Fade.
By Odin's
By
Fade.
Odin's Fade. No.
And-
Oh
and-
my! Hammer
and-
time.
Oh my God, Hammer Time.
And he's not wearing parachute pants.
No, and he's not wearing
It's
parachute.
true.
pants,
It's
so
true.
It's God.
We were reading it this morning, and it's like, wow, this just keeps getting worse and
Oh,
worse.
No,
It's
but
like
somebody pointed out to me, they're like, do you know that this really sucks? And it sucks balls. And I was like, I didn't. And I just skimmed it. And they're like, you shouldn't have just skimmed it. You should have read the whole goddamn thing. And it's like, and he brings up a good point. It's like, if you're going to recommend it, then you should really read it. And I said, yeah, fair point. And so my apologies, folks. I didn't read this. I skimmed it.
Yeah.
And I didn't see Hammer Time in there.
If there is a positive, it's wonderful artwork.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's
beautiful artwork.
it's literally a beautiful book. It's just there's some things in here that it's very stereotypical of what you would think Miles Morales becoming Thor would be. Like, instead of like it's still technically Asgard, but it looks like Brooklyn for some reason.
It is Brooklyn,
No,
but
no, it is. No, it's Asgard.
but it's Brooklyn.
It is. Okay, fine.
It's Brooklyn and it's Asgard because it even says, where does he say?
Asgard is his hood.
Asgard is his. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Midgard long ago, old Yasdril spread. Then the world tree grew in Brooklyn instead. Immersed as we traverse the universe.
You want to wrap this?
From the vast multiverse comes this dope verse. So yeah, why don't you actually? I should be Fox and Jules should read this crap because that's the cultural appropriation that this is, and I don't even. Do you want to leave and come back? I don't think that those words should ever come out of my mouth.
It is very terrible.
No, it's pretty damn bad.
This is awful.
So we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry. But you can't win them all.
Yeah, we live and learn.
So how did you spend your night last night?
I read my comics.
You read the comics.
God damn if I didn't.
Cover to cover.
I'm like, I really want to go to bed, but I have to read my comics. So I have to do my homework. Christian has his homework, and I'm going to give you your homework for July 6th.
Ooh, okay.
And this is the Comics College.
Okay.
What
are we learning?
On July 6th, you are going to watch the first 6 episodes of Batman the TV show.
The 66?
The 1966 television show. First 6. We're going to break down the first 6. I want you to make some notes.
Okay.
And I will also make some notes and we'll compare notes.
Has my favorite Batmobile on screen ever.
Me too. Oh my God. I drove that Batmobile.
No way.
I swear to God. On Comic Book Man, I drove that Batmobile.
Oh my! Wait, that one of the originals?
No, it was.
Was that one of the fiberglass replicas?
It was a replica that this gentleman makes, and it's beautiful, and it is the same design specs as the original, but just they couldn't. There weren't a whole lot of Lincoln Futuras out there.
There's only one.
No, there are actually 6. So there were 6 of them. Yeah,
6
because they made 6 Batmobiles.
Oh, I thought that they were all based off of like the mold of the original car.
They were.
Oh, okay. However, so there's the original, but then there's the replicas.
Yes, they made 5 additional replicas, which were made off of the Futura mold, from what I understand. With
Lincoln Continental frames, I think.
I believe it might have been Lincoln Continental frames, or they might have used the actual frames that the Futura was designed off of. But Lincoln Continental wasn't. Actually, it was. They were interchangeable, the Futura and the Continental. So,
if you like talking replica cars, I actually had a chance to talk to the gentleman who owns Razorfly, and that's his bread and butter. He and his team.
Movie cars.
I
love me some movie cars
and TV cars. Because what did he make?
Yeah. Oh, he made the coconut car.
It was the actual the grass car from Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Wait, he has it.
He made it.
Oh,
for a
he
client.
made it.
He makes all these great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So maybe he'll be a future guest. I wanted to backtrack just a little bit because I know we wanted to give Christian a little bit of time.
Hell yeah.
We were just talking about sort of like how was the week last week?
Well, it doesn't have to start with me. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good week. It's been a busy week. We got some new merch.
It's been we're gonna
under production, and we have. We had a lot of deliveries. We had to restock after the celebration in May. Mm-hmm. So we've been getting a lot of new stock in. And,
speaking of that, you only have like 10 of those bags left, no?
You mean these? Oh, actually, yeah. Right after the show, just a FYI, heads up for anyone who's listening, tuning in. We do have we got 10 more signed posters. The posters in the bags that were originally signed for guests who came in. We got 10 more of them back, so we were able to make 10 more fully loaded swag bags.
So these might be the last 10 swag bags, huh?
They may actually be the last 10 swag bags.
Hey, Chris, why don't you just put that on like really high?
Right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Really high. Yeah, you should like.
Did you want to hear enough of that?
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, because I forgot what I just said.
We needed to hear us in stereo.
Yeah. But we've been getting a lot of really fantastic visitors and guests. I guess because it's it's the summer and people are traveling. But every day we've got people making pilgrimages from overseas, from throughout the country. It's just been so much fun meeting the folks who come in.
Well, you guys made like the ultimate geek pilgrimage.
It really is. Well,
I remember the first time
Michael,
with the
Kevin,
old
and
location,
Ernie,
it was a big deal for me to come here because I was like, oh my God, this place is amazing. Like when you see it on TV and then you actually are able to come in here and experience it, it's a wonderful feeling. So
so that's
for
been a lot
people
of
to
fun.
enjoy it, of course they're going to. So it's wonderful. But yeah, no.
No, but I'm excited for you because you were telling us about your project. And I wanna
Yeah.
hear more about your project.
For a little context, I'm writing a kid's book.
Damn.
I've been wanting to write a kid's book for a while. I had another idea that I'm working on, but I actually might turn that into a series pitch. So that I won't expose too much. But
Okay.
my kid's book is called The ABCs of Rock and Roll.
Nice.
And
is it a pop-up book?
It's you know what? It should be. It should be a pop-up book. But so I actually have I have a kids band project coming out that I'm very excited about. But one of the tracks was called The ABCs of Rock and Roll. But as I was looking through the lyrics, I was like, this is a cool idea for a kids book that I would totally read to my own kids if I had them, or at least as a book that I would have loved to have had growing up. So with the book is also going to be like a companion track so that you can listen along as the book plays out. But yeah, just trying to figure out how to go about that, because I know the world of film pretty well, but the world of like books and publishing and all that stuff is very new to me. But like, it's a very fun process to figure out.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
think that I'm looking forward to it, and you should do too. Just do the straight up and then do the pop-up.
Do the pop-up version.
Yeah.
Oh
the
man,
pop-up version after.
I think
Throw Mama from the Train pop-up version. That's great.
Oh my God, you and pop-up books though. Love
pop-up books.
You do love. Why is it that you love pop-up books so much? Like, what book for you was like, this is it? This is the ultimate pop-up book.
I don't know.
Or has it just always been like a love and fascination?
There's just being interactive with a book is really cool because I learned how to read from comics, and I got handed down all of the pop-up books that I got were like you open it up and you pull the thing and nothing happens because my brother ripped it out, and it's like, oh, that sucked. But to get one myself and then you're like,
and it's working, it's like
working,
actually
like, wow,
doing
this
a thing.
is great. So yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Ed Weird, why'd you make it bad? Don't do a Flesh Gordon pop-up book. That could get ugly fast.
Oh dear Lord!
Come on, man. I'm talking. Stop it.
Come on,
Ed Weird.
These people have great memories.
Yeah, they really do. I'm like, you haven't let this go since it happened, Ed.
I know, but that's still just a great callback. So
that'll forever be on like every show now. Someone will just be like, "Hey, Christian,
yeah, I know.
Remember that trauma?" Oh my God. But yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Fantastic.
Mike, feel like talking nerdy to me?
I do. Didn't we? We already covered the talking nerdy, but let's talk about the U.S. World.
People can't get enough of that.
U.S. News and World Report.
Yeah, that was
very sweet. We found that out.
Yeah, we if you Google U.S. News and World Report, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash or Kevin Smith, you'll see an article pop up. The Stash, actually the Stash and the Smod Castle
and Quick Stop
were all mentioned as places to visit. Sort of like if you're a Kevin Smith fan, if you're a View Askew and Smod.
Well, no, it's just a place. No, not just. They said if you're in New Jersey, stop there. You don't have to be a fan.
Just stop there.
Yeah, stop there.
Just come here.
Top places
and then you will be
Mm-hmm.
a fan because
we'll make you one.
That's right. So thanks for the great ink.
Welcome
U.S.
to
News
our
and World
cult.
Report.
Yes.
We couldn't agree more. So
that was
definitely
really cool.
a must top 30 stop in New Jersey if you're visiting Jersey.
I would have to say so. This place is awesome.
Thank you. So yes, let's talk some stuff that happened this past week. Unfortunately, we lost another great artist. Tim Sale passed away. Tim Sale, you might remember from Batman Long Halloween, Haunted Night, Dark Victory. He did a lot. He was a frequent collaborator of Jeff Loeb, especially I think it was Spider-Man Blue, which was a really cool look at the relationship of Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. Daredevil Yellow, which is not to say that Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, is a coward, but no, it's just that he's colorblind, and that was just an awful costume choice for him. Brown, red, and yellow just doesn't really work well. I mean, Chris, as an artist, do you think that sucks, right?
I think I'm going to swap places with the artist here since we're talking about colors. And
fully blind.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to the podcast.
Chris Campana, come on up.
Come on, Chris.
What's going on, boss?
Hello.
How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
We're good. We're good.
So,
We're
yeah,
good. So yeah.
Unfortunately, Tim Sale. Say goodbye. How you doing?
What's happening?
Nothing. You're coming in July 2nd.
Yes, I am.
Good. Thank God.
Yeah.
I got confirmation. Oh my God. I was like sweating.
You
for
heard
a
it here
while.
first, folks.
I
He
was like,
said
holy
it.
crap.
I've heard.
Yeah, if he doesn't show up, we know where he lives.
I got
so.
all excited when I saw the sign on the other door.
When you walked in and you saw the,
Yeah, like the little sign. I was like, that's the greatest thing ever.
it is pretty cool.
Yeah, all right, cool. Because we go to our
Except we
neighbors.
have to add the actual date on
Yeah,
there, right?
we didn't do that. But that's other than that, you know.
I was so excited I didn't even notice. I just figured I was just always here.
That's right.
Every
man.
day from 12 to 5. That's good. So,
Yeah.
I guess we're just gonna launch into this one because that was a little ham-fisted segue. I liked it though.
It worked for me.
No, it's not you. It's me because I was like, "Hey, Chris, what's going on?"
Who doesn't like ham fist?
Dear God.
Do you
Yeah.
really want an answer to that
Hi,
in
here I am.
these
Welcome to
comments?
it.
Actually, the name of Christian's next pop-up
God.
book is Ham Fist.
That's right.
Oh God, that would be awesome.
Oh no.
So here we go. Yeah,
right.
Tim Sale. Let us in on your opinion. What do you think about Tim? What did you think about Tim's art?
Probably one of the most unique looks a comic has ever had. You know, I think he didn't really. I think sometimes you get caught up in like industry style, house style, and I don't think either one of those applied to him. I think he drew the way he wanted to draw and told the story the way he wanted to tell the story. He's one of those artists who was so talented that the industry had to bend to his ability.
I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a really great way of saying it too.
Yeah.
He was incredibly unique, and I mean so much so that when they made the statues and they made action figures out of his art style, it was like a breath of fresh air. It's like, holy crap, they actually made this look.
Do we have any in here?
I don't. I mean, this is going back years.
Okay.
So then they did the Batman black and white statue, and
Yep.
you've got someone who is Jim Lee, who translates immediately into a statue.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, of course, it's a dynamic pose, but then you've got Tim Sale, and you're like, oh my God. And they did the same thing with Mike Mignola, where, you know, they incorporate the shadows into the artwork, and you're like, holy crap, how are they going to make this into a statue? And they did it flawlessly. It was incredible. I think it was Paul Harding who did.
Yeah, Harding does all those sculpts,
Yeah,
right?
so incredible. So shout out to Paul Harding. He's a fantastic sculptor. Lives in Connecticut.
Now for you guys,
His home address is. I'm not going to dox anybody.
If you'd like to stop by.
Paul. I don't want him coming and doing the same to me.
but he had been illustrating comics for how long?
God, decades.
Yeah.
Tim Sale?
Yeah, 30 years, maybe more.
Because you had mentioned the Long Halloween. How old is the Long Halloween?
Long Halloween is got to be at least 20 years.
Really? I thought that was a newer book.
No. They made that. I'd have to check, but yeah, at least 20 years.
Yeah, it's
up there.
yeah.
Oh wow. So what was like? So whenever like a new artist comes onto the scene and they definitely want to like, I guess this is more of a question for you, Chris. When they want to make like an impact, what tips can you give to an artist from your perspective of like having that known look? Because Tim Sale, everyone knows that. Jim, like, what is in your opinion is the key to finding your own style? If you can answer that one.
You got to trust your lines. I tell all artists, you know, they fall into like these pitfalls. If I want to draw like this person, I want to be like this person. But you have to remember that their path isn't your path,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And for a long time, I struggled with, you know, should I try to mimic other people's styles so I could at least get in the door? And Mike and I have talked about this. I think years ago we talked about, you know, just to to get in and all that kind of stuff. But the crazy thing is what you hear from a lot of editors and a lot of other people who, you know, really are in the position to,
Oh my God. Okay.
Anyway,
to make those decisions on, you know, who to hire, who not to hire, whatever. They want to see your stuff. You know, you get to the back of the portfolio review, and all of a sudden, that's the stuff you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you start they see your lines. I didn't start getting more gigs until I stopped trying to be somebody else.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to copy in a sense to
everybody starts that way.
Yeah, because you want to learn how to draw, but then through that and practice, you obviously start to develop your own unique look and style.
I absolutely have my influences.
Yeah, of course.
It's easy to say. And sometimes when I'm drawing, I'll say, wow, that looks like a lot like this person, or there's hints of that. But I also draw like me. You know, if I was just a copy, it would just, you wouldn't be able to differentiate. But once you trust your lines, and it's difficult because it's this weird thing. It's, yeah, trust your lines, but how do you trust your lines when you haven't been getting a gig so far? How do you really believe in yourself when nobody's really giving you the confirmation that you should?
That's when we were, that's what we were talking about. Like, this is, you know, do I ape, you know, a
Joe
Miller?
It was or Joe Mad or something like that. It was, because I get compared to that. But yeah, and you were right in a lot of ways, because that's what the industry was looking for. But the industry is always changing, you know. So why not sort of live or die on your own stuff? I pull from a ton of different artists: Eminem, Ramita Jr., Otley, all sorts of stuff. But one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me is a few years ago, somebody was like, man, I can't wait to get a piece drawn of your Spider-Man. You know, and when somebody says something like that,
it's a big deal.
You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to trust your lines. That's the biggest thing.
Actually, it's interesting because I don't know, Christian, you look like you were scoping out these questions too. We got a couple of questions that you're kind of touching on already. Mark Lamb asked, when working with existing characters, how much is given representation versus your style interpretation? And Dante Hicks asks, Chris, what are your influences?
So as far as like working on existing characters, really you just got to stay on model, and staying on model is basically, you get, you know, your character sheets, and, you know, like Spidey's got to look like Spidey. You know, you can interpret him stylistically, but the suit's got to look like the suit. You know, I'm working on a book right now called Monsterwood, which is a really, really cool book. And I'm working on volume 3, and Steve Ellis did the first 2 volumes. Steve Ellis, a talented artist, you know, really, really good artist, worked on a bunch of stuff, I think, for DC. And I struggled at first because I have the other 2 graphic novels to sort of pull reference from, and probably took me 10 to 12 pages where I was like, okay, don't draw it like Steve drew it. Like, these characters have to look the same, but they don't have to sort of feel the same in line. They just have to make sure that this guy has horns. Okay, he's got horns. You know, there's whatever it is. So the biggest thing is they hired you for a reason. You're working on the gig for a reason. So bring your own sort of flair and style to it, but just make sure that Batgirl looks like Batgirl. You know, the suit looks like the suit.
The Batgirl cycle looks like the Batgirl cycle.
Yeah.
With the fringes on the ends.
And I love this cover, by the way.
That is amazing.
That is, some of the storytelling that they're doing inside that book is out of control.
It is. I love that. And I'm not going to pull us away from what we're talking about with you, because you and I did discuss this, and we were talking about, you know, because you were saying, I don't want to have to ape somebody's style. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to work at a, you know, one of those mills that were so popular back in the 60s and 70s, you know, where you're actually pumping out art for somebody who's an established name, which I was like, yeah. And I even asked you, do they still exist? And you're like, there are a couple out there that are doing it.
Yeah.
And
Mills?
Yeah. It's, you work for a company, and this is where George Perez got his start. Neil Adams had Continuity Studios, where he would bring in a stable of artists, and they would crank out whatever needed to be cranked out.
Oh, okay.
So,
and that's actually, if you don't mind my interjecting a little bit, that's actually a time-honored tradition, believe it or not. The you know, I can't quote you perfect examples, and not farther back than the Renaissance, but I know that the Renaissance masters, they had students, and they had apprentices that came to work with them, and oftentimes they would get started on a piece, and then they would get a commission, you know, to do another piece, and they would let their students finish their artwork. Yeah. So yeah, it isn't. Yeah.
Oh, and it goes back to the golden age of comic books, because Will Eisner had a stable. He started out just himself, Will Eisner and Associates, and it sounded like there were more people in than just him, but he was a machine, and he pumped out a bunch of stuff. But George Perez got his start at Rich Buckler's studio. And this is one of those times where the student eclipses the master, because people were like, holy crap, look at this Rich Buckler stuff that's coming out and it's looking so, holy shit.
Just
he's
incredible.
Grown. He's grown as an artist. And it turned out it was Perez's stuff. Not that Rich Buckler by any means was not a good artist. It just meant that Perez was like, he was wearing a suit two sizes too small for him, and he was busting at the seams. So
a lot of artists start that way, though. I know a ton of artists who started out doing backgrounds and, essentially ghosting. My first gig was ghosting a book for DC, which I can't say which one it is.
Of course
it was. But
not until you're well established.
Yeah, not until it won't destroy it.
Then you could destroy it.
But there's studios everywhere where the thing about comics, where these studios are actually really kind of important, is you've got to get a lot of stuff done in a really short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you need an assist. Sometimes you need, a helping hand on finishing up those pages when just deadlines hit and it gets kind of crazy. So,
well, that's the whole thing. I was talking to somebody about this, and I forget who it was, but we were talking about having that deadline, and that deadline was a make or break kind of thing for especially Marvel back in the 60s and 70s, because they had to publish a certain amount of titles, or they would the printer would pull. Wow. Yeah, they'd be like, then we're not printing this. We're gonna, they had a contract. You print these books, or we're gonna cancel our contract with you. And turns out that the printer was owned by DC.
That's nuts.
National Periodicals was printing Marvel's books back in the 60s and 70s. I was talking about that to a couple of...
we were talking about that recently. I think on one of our past episodes,
okay,
we
cool.
brought that up.
But, I mean, it was hugely important that, you needed that deadline. You had to reach it. And they would go to people who could do it. John Byrne's a perfect example. He was a machine. Jack Kirby would do it back in the 60s and 70s. He was working on like 5 titles a month. He would like do the pencils and then pass it on to whoever the embellisher was. They called them inkers, embellishers. Yep. Those were the guys who would do the backgrounds and fill in all the negative space. Mm-hmm. And you've got a guy who's on 5 high title books like Fantastic Four, Amazing Spider-Man, actually he wasn't on Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and all the other ones that he was doing, Thor, and I mean, X-Men.
You can just keep going.
I can keep going. Yeah, he was doing all of them, and it's like, holy crap! And he had to pull back, and that's when you need to bring other people in, and he grabbed guys from his stable, and they became, like Don Heck, and
I just recently did that. I was doing the G.I. Joe gig, mm-hmm. and it was a lot in a little. It wasn't interiors. It was a bunch of card art for the Renegade Games G.I. Joe like role-playing game.
Awesome.
Oh.
And it was cool. And talk about staying on model. Like Hasbro was really
strict about that.
You gotta.
He's got to look like
the heavy reference. But the issue was, I gotta be careful how I say this. The issue was approvals sometimes took longer than you'd like them to. So, but your deadline didn't change, and you could ask for an extension, and maybe you would get one, but you had other things that were coming up, that you'd already like committed to. So you had to do what you had to do. Mm-hmm. I brought in 4 different people just to help me either do inks or breakdowns or something like that, because it just got to be a lot. Mm-hmm. You could be like, I don't know, in my opinion, you could be superiorly like talented, but if you don't hit deadlines and conduct yourself in a certain way, I kind of think the gigs will dry up no matter what. Mm. And for me, since I'm a second tier guy and I'm totally fine with that, I have to hit deadlines. I have to be accountable at all times. I've got to do exactly what I say I'm going to do, because I don't have the blow you away talent that some of these other artists have that can sort of maybe allow me to sort of get away with that a little
I'm
bit.
looking at this He-Man, and I'd beg to differ.
Well, I appreciate that.
Mr. Smith differs.
Yeah.
That's cool to hear.
Stop that.
But you know what I mean? I'm also sitting in rooms where, Ryan Otley is 4 tables away from me, and Stegman is there, and these incredible, just top tier artists like Capullo, and so the stuff that I see and the way my eye looks at it, I just see certain things. Side note, real quick, if you do draw like somebody else, awesome. I'm not saying don't ape if you want to ape and do that. I just chose for myself not to do it. And to the other question, my influences: Frazetta, Romita Jr., Otley, Alfredo Alcala, probably the top ones for me. Frazetta #1. That's why this Death Dealer thing was so important to me. But
have you ever visited the museum up in
I haven't,
North
and
Jersey?
I have to. I'm such an asshole.
For shame. Holy crap.
Michael and I got a chance to go visit last time we were up there visiting. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, I have to go.
Let's do a podcast from there.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
I gotta go
I
there.
don't think they'll let us, but yeah.
No.
Put that in the
let
universe.
us. Yeah, they might let us.
You never know.
Yeah.
You come with us.
Yeah.
I won't need any convincing.
No. Yeah.
We got to pull your arm for that one.
That would be great. That would be a great road trip. I can reach out to her and ask.
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys find your own goddamn accommodations. I'm staying at my place.
I'd probably lose my mind inside there, though.
You would actually.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and it's beautiful. But and don't think I don't appreciate the humility there, where you're like, I'm a second tier guy. No, you're just haven't hit. And I mean, your stuff I would put up against. There are very few people that, if I were your Mickey, giving you the rock.
That's a terrible Mickey.
Of course it. Well, what do you want me to be? The fucking penguin? Whack, 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 whack. Same guy.
That's because of my belief in you that I really thought like it was.
I was gonna bring my Mickey. I don't do a great Burgess Meredith. Sorry, that's one of my least.
Side note: you'll never hear somebody named Burgess again.
That's not true, because
Come
I'm thinking
on.
about adopting a child.
Let's do it
How
together.
awesome would that be? I don't know. They're not going to let you and me adopt a kid.
There's some
Not
names
together
that
in
don't
any way.
exist anymore.
Burgess is just a great name.
Great
I mean,
name.
but don't put yourself down, because I mean, Ryan Otley wasn't always Ryan Otley.
No,
It took him forever to get where he is now. Look at, and you saying, if you ape, or you look like somebody else's style. And I'm looking at Phil Jimenez, and I think that he is an insanely talented artist,
Right.
who just happens to look like George Perez.
Well, Nick Bradshaw looks like Arthur Adams.
Yeah.
But Nick's insane, and he's his own artist. He's not just an Arthur Adams knockoff. Nick is an incredible artist in his own right, who just happens to draw sometimes similarly to Art Adams. But
Same thing with John Byrne and Neil Adams. He looked almost incredibly like Neil, especially in his early stuff. His faces were a little bit different, but that's about it. And there were people who used to argue that Byrne only could draw 3 different types of women.
Right.
And they weren't completely wrong.
That's 2 more than I can draw.
There you are. Well, so.
No, look, we all have our influences. I started drawing because of McFarlane initially. His Spider-Man was out of control. I draw nothing like Todd. My web lines look a lot like him because they're still the coolest looking web lines I've ever seen. But I draw like Joe Mad. Got some Joe. I've probably got a hint of Otley just because I worship the guy. And Romita Jr., every time I draw a Daredevil or a Spidey, my boots on Daredevil are always the same as Romita Jr. drew. Like, it's just, there are pieces in there. You could look at any interiors I do and say, this has, again, hints of this or that. There's nothing wrong with looking like another artist. We have our influences.
Gotcha. You don't have to kiss Ryan Otley's ass because he doesn't listen to us. So, but I mean, I think it's very sweet that you do.
I'm going to see him.
You're like, fuck,
I just saw him this past week, and every time he walked past my table, I was like, "That's Ryan Otley," and we're legit, like, we're repped by the same people.
I love you.
Can I tell you my Ryan?
Holy crap.
Wait, I got to tell you my Ryan Otley story.
Okay.
Tell it.
And we don't know that he's not going to watch this. We don't know for sure.
We don't know
We
this.
think it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, just like Bruce Campbell watches this show.
I watch it.
Absolutely.
I watch
Absolutely.
it.
See?
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Okay, then there we
There
are.
you
Yeah,
So-
I've been watching this since I found out I was going to be on it.
So, yeah, I was like, what are they talking about? So I was at MegaCon years ago, and I was working on Vampirella Pathfinder at the time. So I was like, you know, getting in a little bit, and I wanted to say hello to Ryan. So I go over to his table, and we're just talking, and he's like, oh, I was like, dude, you're just incredible. Like, and he's like, you got a guest badge on, like, what are you working on? So I told him, and I just like, man, your understructure is so good. You move the camera around so well. It just, everything you do is so cool. Is there anything that gives you like issues as an artist? Because we all have something, you know, that we draw a cast shadow on.
Everybody's got a kryptonite.
Feet.
Yeah, no. So he's like, I have a hard time with hips. And I was like, Ryan, your hips are great.
Oh God, dear Lord.
But I didn't mean it. Like, I didn't mean it like his own hips.
Oh man,
were great.
And he stood up and he
was
around,
like, you know, you're
wiggled.
right. Thank you for noticing finally after all these years. And he kind of looked at me that we both knew at that moment that I should walk away. Like as slowly but
like,
quickly.
You back away first, and then I'll just start.
Not because he was offended, just because we knew that I had messed up and said something that made me feel like a total moron. He didn't say anything like that was off. You know, you shouldn't have said it, or he was like, yeah. And, you know, yeah, exactly. He doesn't remember that by any means, but I clearly told
I'm looking at you waving to the camera.
I told that story 3 times this week, and to anyone who would listen, because he was 5 tables away from me in the same row, and I was like, man, here's my Ryan Otley story, and that was it. So yeah, that's
his hips don't lie.
Oh yeah. I get you. And
am I getting beat up in the comment section right now?
No, you're not. You're
not.
not.
No, I don't.
No one's beating you up. We're not going to allow it.
I really thought that some people were going to be asking for like some hip action on camera, but no one's asked for you to stand up and show off your hips.
Someone did ask, do you have a...
I'm not gonna lie.
I think everyone here at the table can claim some pretty awesome hips, right?
There's a lot of good hips.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm digging it. I'm digging it, Christian.
I'm
yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy with
right.
mine, so I'm
I've got the hips of a Tootsie Roll.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, me neither.
They look awful. It ain't there. It ain't there.
Tootsie Rolls, no.
All right.
Question for you though,
please.
Do you have a specific piece that you have done that you feel is just the best you will ever do?
The next one.
The next one.
Good for you. That's right. That's the perfect way to put it.
I love that.
Because you ever draw that perfect panel or that perfect page, and you're like, all right, I can never do anything better than this. That just sucks. There's nothing worse than that.
There are pieces that I look at. For instance, there's pieces from 5-6 years ago when I say, okay, it was there, but I wasn't talented enough to do it on a consistent basis. You know, there's flashes. And I like those pieces a lot because they showed that the work was paying off. But an artist, and any artist listening who is struggling, you get better in between pieces even when you're not drawing. There are things you learn from your pieces when you look at them post-work that you don't even know are making your next piece better. So stop beating yourself up.
Do you do like artist exercises where you like just sketch anything that you
My
see?
artist exercises start with, you don't suck. It's okay. You're going to be all right.
Just the self-motivation.
It's okay to erase. Keep going.
Cool.
Simple,
That's it.
effective. I dig it.
That's the total thing that I do. When
You
it
are
comes to
worthy.
being an artist.
Well, I think you've got a good crowd that you're talking to too, because this is something that I didn't realize until I started, working here in December, how many folks in the Viewisk universe are artists or have, aspirations to be artists. And there's so many people that are so talented too. I mean, I just keep being amazed over and over again when people share their stuff. So thank you for giving that advice, because I think you've got people out there who are really
it's a tough
take
gig.
it to heart. Yeah.
I get really, really offended. And I know people don't mean it this way when they're like, oh, you're an artist? That must be so much fun. And I'm just like, you mean all those hours drawing when nobody was paying me and I hated myself and I compared myself to everybody else, and then finally someone gave me something and then I went on the internet and people hated it or people liked it? Yeah, it's a great time.
Yeah, that time.
Yeah, all those times.
Sounds like so much fun.
It's the best.
Was that fun?
Working in complete solitude, just hoping somebody likes it when you put it out there. Or sitting at a table while somebody you don't know just goes through your portfolio and doesn't say a word to you and then just walks away. It's the best.
Yeah, those times.
Gosh.
Those are the ones. That's
Keep
what
going,
I'm talking
kids.
about.
gosh, you guys got to have like a mutual support group or something, where you jump on and be like, back away from the ledge, back away.
Back away. Chris, and I'm an artist. Hi, Chris.
We all just kind of look at each other and go, yes. Yep.
You're an alcoholic yet? No?
No. I'm not there yet. I haven't reached that stage.
You all right?
Seriously, you must have just started. Okay.
He's not yet reached the bags under the eyes stage. There's stages to this, okay, people?
I mean, there are things that happen to you at cons behind the table that people just are unaware that they're doing. Is this your real job?
Oh boy.
Is this, did you draw this? Do you make any money? My kid draws just like this. I was going to do this, but I went to college. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens to artists.
Wow, that's douchey.
There's Artist Alley Bingo. We have a sheet that we all sort of secretly
introducing a new offshoot of the local 404, Artists Anonymous.
Yeah, seriously. Holy
Jesus.
crap.
But I'm doing something that I want to do since I was 10 years old, so they can say whatever they want because at the same time they're also
they're doing the job.
All right, douchebag alert from Chris Campana. You're also all paying my bills.
That's very true.
And I'm very, very appreciative of it. So you could say whatever you want because I worked my ass off. And
but they didn't. And that's the whole thing is you stuck with it. Because, I mean, we all drew as kids. Some of us just didn't stick with it. I mean, I wish I had stuck with it, but you always get that, you've got the parent who's like, you know what, you're talented and you're awesome. You keep going. Then you got the parent who's like, is that going to fucking pay the bills? No? Then go get a job.
My dad was always like, don't you go get a tie and go in an office. And I was like, but you're fucking miserable.
Yeah.
I don't want to do what you're doing.
I don't want to do that. Hell no.
You hate everything that you do.
Yeah.
He's like, so it pays the bills.
It's like, fuck it, you hate me. What the hell?
Yeah, you got a roof over your head. But that was the thing.
Yeetin'?
Yeah. I think that the talent part of it, if I'm being as real as possible, and nobody's listening, right?
No, nobody.
No. It's gone completely dark.
The talent part of it is the days that you suck, and you have a lot of them. I still have days where it seems like I forgot to draw. You still draw the next day. That's where the drive and the talent. That's, I think, the difference in the person who drew for a while and then kind of went to whatever else they were into. I could break pencils, and the next day I would tape them together and draw again. That was because it was like an addiction.
Good. That's
keep going. See, now I mean I don't think I've ever seen anything you've drawn, Christian.
I can draw a mean stick figure.
And I have seen some of the things you've drawn. I don't have any illusions. I can't draw for shit. And to me, watching someone like you, Chris, who is able to sit down and with a blank sheet of paper and pens, create something, make something, is, to me, it's like watching magic. Like
I appreciate
and that's
that.
what it is.
It really
There's
is.
a certain amount of magic in that.
So
and other people do it with words.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true.
People do it with
Can
words.
Can you talk a little bit about what you'd like to do with us when you're here on the 2nd, so people know what they can look forward to? Yeah. When they
would you like people to come in and talk about your hips?
Can someone? All right.
Right.
So here's the deal: if you come in and make the hip joke to me, I will give you $5 off of something.
Oh,
wow! Nice.
All right.
That's pretty nice.
I will take that hit. I will take that hit because it means you're paying attention, and we could all have a hip story. And I feel like that makes the world a brighter place.
Done and done.
What can they expect when they come in?
Yeah, I mean, just like you'll be here at the table. You'll be
totally.
It's literally this table too.
Yep.
So let's. We were talking about this. You're going to open up your commission.
Yep, commissions are open.
Commissions are open. So if you want, where do they go to get a commission, and how do they request it?
So here's the best thing you can do. If you go to Instagram, my Instagram is Campana Art. So it's my last name and then ART. You could do that to check out some of the work. And then there's also chriscampana.art, where you can see the pricing and some examples of it. But to be fully transparent, the newest art is on the Instagram.
Okay.
And you can message me, you can DM me on Instagram, and we can talk. And I have a set price list, but I also one of the greatest artists maybe ever and currently in the industry, my buddy Ken Lashley. Years ago, I was tabling next to him, and he does this like sort of name your price thing because he he appreciates people coming to his table so much that he wants to work within their budgets.
Mm-hmm.
So a set list sometimes deters people because, not everybody has a bunch of disposable income just to spend on, nostalgia and however it makes them feel. So I like to do that too. Yeah, there's a number I have in mind, but I'm also extremely thankful that anyone would come to my table and just choose to spend any kind of money on my dream. So you want to come get something drawn, you just tell me what you can spend and we'll figure it out. We make it happen. So that's it. Go to Campana Art on Instagram or chriscampana.art and check out the stuff. And if you dig it, we'll figure it out.
Awesome.
It's as simple as that.
And you'll dig it.
You will.
That Dark Wolf that you just had up was drawn in show.
That
one. Yeah, that's a Frank Frazetta character. That was drawn recently. I did that. That's about an hour and a half.
Really?
That's an hour and a half.
Can you put that back up, Christian?
Yeah, no problem.
And that people hit the jackpot. That was drawn in Philly in April.
That's right, Tiger.
Yep, you just hit the jackpot. Because when you asked me for a Frazetta character, you are getting, or a He-Man Masters of the Universe stuff, you're getting my absolute love of what inspired me initially.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh wow!
There you go.
So those pieces in particular are the ones where you're like, oh, you're about to get something amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to do that with all pieces.
No, man, hype yourself up, dude. That's how it is.
I try to be consistent in my line with all pieces, but inside, when somebody asks me for Spidey or Masters or Thundercats or Frazetta character, I'm like, oh shit, yes.
You tick an extra box. It's like on it.
I didn't think that was happening. I'm hoping all I get is Death Dealer for the next 6 months of my life because of this cover. So I'll absolutely take it.
I cannot wait for that to hit the store. Store. Do you want to talk a little bit, Michael and Chris? Do you want to talk a little bit about what folks should be looking out for with Chris's?
Go ahead,
stash?
Chris. You talk because I'm waiting for. I have to get back. I was gonna pull up some stuff for you, but I'll show it to you afterwards. Yeah, I'm waiting to get to hear back from Khalid.
We have it.
Okay.
I'm getting some copies today. They look really good. There's a couple of 9.6s to 9.8s definitely in the box.
Nice.
First, I have to say that Mike hooked me up, with this thing.
Okay.
Mike and I, for those who don't know, we've known each other for a minute.
We go back,
and this Frazetta Death Dealer thing is a massive, massive, massive sort of thing in my career. And I was going to lose the opportunity to do it because the publisher who we were doing the variant for needed someone with a diamond account and a story that would help us out. And Mike, without hesitation, absolutely. He didn't even. It wasn't even it just
wasn't a discussion.
It wasn't that's an interesting idea. Let me get back to you about that.
Yeah, he was almost mad I didn't ask him sooner.
Actually, I'm like, what the fuck?
He just come right to me.
He's like, look, you're the fourth person I've come to. I'm like, motherfucker, why aren't I the first?
I've exhausted all resources. Mike, like, do you know anyone?
Son of a bitch.
That's a great story.
I mean, the world's most famous comic book store. Gee, do I know anyone who runs the world's most famous comic book store? Jeez.
No one's coming to mind.
Hold on. The last thing I ever want someone to think is that I befriended them so they could help me go somewhere.
Yeah, I thought you were playing the long game here.
The really long game. Yeah.
Finally, I knew this was coming, you son of a bitch.
It was like a flashback to all the little hints, that
all the moments,
all
the smiles that then turn
plus.
Yeah, and it goes back you see all the flashes, and it's
right.
Yes, that's right.
I'm always going
I knew from the beginning you were the meal
twirling your mustache, going.
Yes.
No, and of course, and there's, it was duh.
I cannot wait to see it.
Who's been your biggest one of your biggest cheerleaders? You've had many, many big cheerleaders, but in the
I am now your big cheerleader. I got you. Got this.
You got one now, and
Thank you.
And actually you got two now. But Jules Jules has seen your maturity as an artist. So I was like, of course, duh. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And, yeah, if it was anybody but you, it would sound really sketchy. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm a Nigerian prince, and I'm trying to put out
Please
the
help.
Death Dealer #3. But it's
Give me your
Chris.
diamond
Yeah,
account
exactly.
password and log in.
honestly.
There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Must help.
I'm like
Must
typing
need
in,
help.
here you go. But it was
When
like
is that
a
expected
no-brainer.
to hit? Do we have a date? we're still
Hopefully
waiting?
before Chris gets in
So-
here on
so
July
The
2nd.
original release date for it was June 8th, and you can go to comicnights.com, which is
Comic Knights.
K-O-M-I-C, Knights.
Comic Knights.
.com, and you can order that up. We're going to be doing remarks on
Okay.
it. 2 different kinds of remarks. We'll be doing a CGC series. I'll also be with them the following Sunday at here's a pitch, Garden State Comic Fest.
Yeah.
Sunday only. If you can't make it here on July 2nd, which I hope you can, if you can't, then or come again and see us on the 10th at
Yeah.
Garden State Comic Fest, because we're gonna have more copies and more remarks and all that kind of stuff. There's been the thing is, like, I'm very, very lucky. There's this amazing support group of fans and of other people who have really, really helped me build this career. I could be the greatest artist in the world and work really hard, but if people don't believe in you and buy into you and want to take this ride with you and share your mixtape, you don't go anywhere. And that's not bullshit. I'm not just saying that to seem like the nice guy Chris Campana. That's legit how I approach things. So, Mike and I and everybody who I've run into, it's just, you got to kind of take a minute every now and then and take a second, just like, holy shit, like, this is pretty crazy that my gig is drawing comics. Like, that's what I do. And it sucks and it's hard, but are you kidding me? Like, I get to wake up every day. My dog gets to take a shit on the rug. I get to clean it up and then go draw some comics.
I think you need a new dog.
Or a new rug. I definitely need a new rug.
You get a new dog. Don't need a new rug.
Just maintains eye contact with me the whole time he's doing. He's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell are you gonna do about it, huh?
And he's probably talking English like, guess who I want you to kill next week? It's like,
Totally.
the fuck? All right.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
His name is James Bond. So
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Come see us July 2nd.
Yeah.
You're going to be here from 11 to 5?
10 to 5, right?
10,
Is it 11?
No, 11.
Is it 11?
You can
We
get
open
here at
11.
10
You can
o'clock.
get
You
here
can
at
help us
10,
make
yeah.
coffee and
We
clean
make
up
coffee.
and
So
stuff.
we
here
open
at-
at 11.
I'll
So
be here
if
at
you want
11.
11 to 5. Beautiful. So, and go to campanaart.com. Campanaart.com.
ChrisCampana.art or
Yep.
Campana Art on Instagram.
Campana Art on Instagram, and get on his commission list and come to the stash and pick it up. It's beautiful. So
Yeah, do that. And I know you guys are worldwide. So if you're at Heroes this weekend, come see me. If you're at San Diego Comic-Con in a couple of weeks, also come see me.
I thought it was 12 to noon.
no, not 12 to noon. Actually, we got a
12 to
bunch of
noon.
people at 12 to noon. That's nice. It is 12 to noon, folks.
So did you say that you messed that up?
Oh my God, I missed that. No, I messed that up like weeks ago, but 12 to noon, we'll be here.
I just let Mark know he's banned. Yeah.
All right, good deal.
Mark's
All right,
banned.
fantastic.
He
All
thinks
right,
it's
top
funny.
5, people. Top 5, because I read these and
Now you recommend these.
I do recommend these wholeheartedly. Not this. This.
Can I see the bottom one while you're looking at the top
Sure,
one?
you sure can.
Hey, that's my cover.
What?
Is that your
I
cover?
drew that.
Did you really?
No
Let's-
fucking way.
Then let's start with
Ah,
that.
that's
All right,
awesome.
Illusion Witch.
I drew that cover.
Did you
Oh,
really?
shit.
I drew that.
I should have recognized. This is pretty fucking
I didn't
badass.
do the interiors, but I did the cover for that
That
book.
is damn
Why doesn't it
awesome.
not say?
That
Where
is
did you?
awesome.
Where'd you sign?
I don't know, man. I do this shit with mirrors.
Oh
Like,
Jesus Christ!
Sign
It doesn't
that
even
comic
say
book.
that.
Damn
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Oh my
absolutely.
God,
Does
yeah,
it
you
say it on
gotta-
the inside cover?
No, art by no, nothing. No,
Well, that's
nothing. That
that's
kinda
messed
sucks.
up.
That is.
This is maybe in the back
Ruben's
of
a
the
good
book?
dude. Like, the writer's a really, really good dude. He reached out to me and I hooked him up with this cover. But Yeah, I did that cover.
Holy crap. All right, The Illusion Witch. All right, we're starting off here
So
with exterior art by Chris Campana. That is
That's amazing.
All right, you're
That's
signing
great.
that for me. God damn it. 'Cause
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually selling your goddamn book. So I actually love the concept for this in when I do my previews. It's The Illusion Witch, and it's by Behemoth. Behemoth is the little company that can.
Oh yeah.
I love their
Not could, can.
No, that can. Unless they go out of business like next week.
Oh, stop.
Then they could.
Did.
The little that did go out of business. No, but Behemoth, I'm behind you 110%.
Behemoth is on solid financial footing.
This
everyone.
is I'm
Don't worry.
hoping. Just like CrossGen.
You're totally fine.
So anyway, this is
Goldman Sachs confirms. They're
it's
fine. They're
about
fine. They're
a
solid.
woman who lives the art of illusion. It was her escape from the day-to-day horror that is life. I mean, you want to talk about it. Did you read this yet? Or are you like, I just did a fucking cover?
I didn't have time to read it, but I know
You
Ruben.
skimmed it? All right.
That's great. Well, it's my hood.
Well, the Illusion Witch's fade.
I promise you.
He skipped it. It's my hood.
I said it.
Cauldron
I said
State,
it. All right,
I don't
it's
know.
legit,
It's like, you know.
But this is
Oh
her.
my God.
So she hates life, and life is problematic for her because she loses people. She loses a lot of fucking people, and she can't deal with it. So she throws herself into her work, which is being a stage performer and an illusionist. But unfortunately for her, she does have a certain amount of magical ability, and that's going to cost her. So that's the setup for this one. And you've got talking prairie dogs.
Magic always
And
comes at a
yes,
price,
it
dude.
does, always does. And it's actually really cool. I like this volley for serve. It's a little heavy-handed, but I kind of dug that. It gets you where you need to go. Imagine Zatanna without a conscience. So,
Whoa.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
I can dig
all right,
it.
So now that I'm dealing from the bottom of the deck,
Sorry.
let's go to Maestro, number 4.
I did that cover. No, I didn't.
I know you didn't do this one. Maestro number 4.
Before we hit that, just real quick, credit your artists. That's all I got. That's my only critique. That's my only
Credit your
critique.
cover artist.
Credit your cover artist. Anyway, next.
All right, so anyway, Maestro number 4, World War M. This is actually really cool. You've got the Hulk going up against Namor in
cool.
it's about 100 years from now. You got some long-lived people. He's going up against the Maestro is going up against Namor, the Submariner, and Doctor Doom. And Namor calls in an old friend of ours, Giganto. So it's actually pretty cool. Who we haven't seen in a minute. So and come for Giganto, stay for the Maestro. So this one, I love this. I love when they do this. The Jim Lee X-Men covers, like the cards.
What a great cover.
I don't believe that this is Jim Lee. No, it's
No,
RD.
That's really nice.
This is, and you mentioned Ken Lashley on. I love Ken Lashley. He's one of my favorite artists as well. But this is, and they do even the back.
That's really nice.
They did.
That's sick.
I mean, I think this is also because they've got a Jim Lee book coming out that does all of the art for his X-Men card series that he created. Like, I think there were 92 cards plus the holograms.
Very dumb question. What is the card series though? Like, what is that actually? Is it just this layout style? Or
Yeah,
is it
no. I mean, there were also like cards it was an actual card set back in the late 90s or
like a
mid-90s.
trading card set.
Yeah, trading card set.
Okay.
That had a whole bunch of all the X-Men characters, all mutants, bad guys, good guys, super teams, the whole 9 yards. And they were all done by Jim Lee, who were fantastic. So this is the X-Men number. I think it's number 12, isn't it? Come on, you stupid thing. Number 12. Actually, yes, number 12 and number 12. So this is the new grouping of X-Men, which is about to change because I love it. They change out their
lineup.
Their lineup like every year when they start getting comfortable. So this one, they're losing a whole bunch of people except for these three. The mainstays are going to be Cyclops, Marvel Girl, and Everett Sink, and Polaris, Rogue, Sunfire, and Wolverine. She's Wolverine now. Or Wolverine are leaving, and this is a really cool setup because they kick some ass, some intergalactic ass
They
in
take
this
names?
issue, and they don't take names. They don't need to. They've got plenty of names.
These interiors are great.
And yeah, they are. It's not your I forget who does the artwork in there. It should say on there someplace.
Pepe Larraz.
There you go, Pepe Larraz. I dig his art. It reminds me a lot of he did the X Force Adam something back in the mid 90s.
This has a copial Eminem look to it. Too.
Yes, and that's a name you don't hear too much, Stuart Eminem. So, and I was a big fan of his work on Superman. So, but this is like, it's a solid super team book. They kick ass. They come back, and they cop to a couple of things. You know, they made some mistakes, and one of them was taking away mentally dominating a human, and Sink did it, and he apologized, and he tried to make amends for it. So I was like, wow, that's pretty badass, where you have a comic book character who actually takes responsibility for
His actions.
his bullshit. Exactly. And that's something we don't see enough of.
Oh.
All right. Speaking of taking responsibility, Black Adam #1.
Ooh.
This is ahead of the Black Adam movie. This is actually really cool. I don't know how closely this is going to cleave to the movie title, or
you don't know if it's a tie-in book.
It's how closely they're going to parallel.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is really cool. This is written by Christopher Priest, and
nice.
It's got a very Black Panther feel to it. Yeah, I don't know if you remember back in the day.
I do.
The Black Panther thing that he did, he would throw up the names of the people and give you a little bio on them.
Oh, okay.
It'd be like Everett Ross, dude who calls Black Panther his client. And Rafa Sandoval this is some amazing art in here. And there's a lot of stuff in here. It's really cool. It's just like a day in the life of. And he's got this one part where a black doctor is taking care of a neo-Nazi. So I think it was actually really well done. And, the writing rings true, and it's actually really cool. And the one thing I do want to point out again is DC Comics is doing a George Perez.
Oh, wow.
So this is pretty amazing, the celebration of George Perez's life. And this is all the stuff he did at
so
DC.
Dope.
This is fantastic. And it's a jam piece.
Drawing.
Where's your piece?
Are you crazy? No.
I would love to see you on here. Maybe next year.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right, cool. Yeah.
It's going to happen.
And last up is Nightwing.
Okay if it doesn't.
Yeah, get in touch with DC Comics if it doesn't. Nightwing. Nightwing has been amazing so far this past year. This is and it doesn't get repetitive because it's Nightwing against Blockbuster for the soul and the life of Bloodhaven.
Mm-hmm.
And Nightwing's bringing in he's got a lot of money. And you know where he got that money from?
Wayne money, baby.
No, Alfred Pennyworth. It's Pennyworth money, baby.
What?
Pennyworth. A spoiler alert if nobody knows. Alfred Pennyworth was killed in the Batman titles about 2 years ago. So, where you been? But
yeah, you waited long enough.
Yeah, I did. I sat on that for a while. So, Dick Grayson and Alfred Pennyworth were tight. And so Alfred left all of his money to Dick, or most of his money, to use as, he saw fit.
Mm-hmm.
And Dick is trying to make sure that Bloodhaven has a chance, because Bloodhaven is an even shittier version of Gotham. So, yeah, if that's possible.
That's
But this is actually this comic. There are they have to give you these every once in a while where it's like a pure win for the good guys, because every once in a while
It can't be loss after loss
it can't
after loss.
I know. So this is Dick coming in here with the help of Batgirl Oracle, kicking Bloodhaven their ass, the corruption in Bloodhaven. So and just an absolute smackdown win for Dick. So
nice.
Yeah, it is pretty.
I love when Dick wins.
Yes.
What?
I think we all should probably just
we're gonna
close out with that.
We're gonna leave out.
That's the title for the episode.
Yeah, I love when Dick wins. Oh yeah, that's definitely the title. I was gonna go with the hip thing, but
Dicks and hips.
Dicks and hips.
There you go.
Come to
Dicks and hips, hips and dicks.
On July 2nd, come to Dicks and Hips.
Oh my God.
Someone wants to know, is Bloodhaven on the West Coast? Where is
No, it's on the East Coast. It's it's not that far from Gotham. Yes.
Buckle up, kids.
Yeah, Ed
Dicks
asked,
and hips.
Ed just wanted to make sure he understood. So yes, we are taking a week off next
week we are out.
Yep, but we will be back the week after.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, July 6th we will be back.
Absolutely.
The 6th.
Absolutely.
So, and Christian, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna do your homework.
I'm gonna watch
Good man.
the first 6. No, I'll watch as many as I can of the original Batman series.
Well,
they used to air reruns of it on TV Land.
You got 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
If you are so inclined.
Where is it streaming? Or is it?
You can get it on Amazon Prime. It'll cost you, the entire thing will cost you like $20.
It's just good to have.
All right, good enough. All right, fine. If you want to do the first season, I'm up for it with you.
You know what? I'll do the first season.
Good deal. Then first season of Batman 66. And we can this can be like 4 episodes. We'll do 4 episodes through the maybe more. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows?
We'll just keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. I'm game for
We'll break
this.
it down. So it'll be awesome.
We can't know.
We can, but we don't. We don't want to because it's boring.
Say.
So yeah, there we go. What do we got? We got August 17th to the 21st is the Smodcast Film Festival over at it's gonna be at the Atlantic Movie House and Smodcastle. So Smodcastle Film Festival. Big Earn, do you happen to know when the cutoff date for?
No, but I can find out for you right now.
All right, cool. If you haven't submitted a film, you have a definitive cutoff date, which is
July 22nd.
July 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
July. There you go.
Notification date's July 31st.
There you are.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. What else we got
And
coming
that's
up?
it. I think
that's really
that's
the.
it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No date for it yet, though.
We're doing a birthday celebration.
We
Kevin
are.
and Jay.
Kevin
we're
and
doing
Jay.
a birthday celebration for them. No specific date, but
it's in development, people.
Yes.
But as soon as we know, we will tell you.
Very, very
Yes.
close.
What about you, man? What you working on? What can people be hyped for? What can they look for?
Well, July 2nd, he's coming here.
Well, besides July 2nd.
To Dicks and Hips. So,
Dicks and Hips, July 2nd. Come get some.
All right.
Not Dicks and Hips, though. I'm working on Monsterwood, which really leads into the Dicks and Hips.
God damn it.
Monster Hips, man. Monster Hips.
It's a 68-page graphic novel. Really, really cool book. Excited to be a part of that. I've got there's a new TMNT book coming out, TMNT Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
Shredder leads the team. I've got a variant cover coming out for that in September. Adventures of Parker Reeve Part 3. Lots of other variant covers that I can't say yet. And shows, Heroes, San Diego.
Cool.
New York, Emerald City, C2E2. All of them.
Busy. Yeah.
Really
That's
busy.
great.
Really.
You're as busy as Ming Chen. Holy crap. All right.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I drink less, though.
Everywhere, everything, all at once. No, you kidding? He drinks out of a thimble.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I'm supposed to see him tonight.
All of a sudden you get a text. It's like, fuck you, it canceled.
Shit.
Oh, I drank out of a thimble, huh?
Ming Chen, dicks and hips, huh? All right, gotcha.
TV's Ming Chen.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. But thank you for joining us on the show, man.
Thanks so much
having
for
me,
coming
guys.
by.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah, and we'll see you on July 2nd,
Mm-hmm.
11 to noon. We'll be here. So, yeah, it'll be great. Yeah,
Thank
definitely
you, Ed. You have
11
a
to
good
5.
4th of July weekend too, everybody.
Fantastic.
Y'all stay
Everybody, just stay nerdy.
And that's pretty much it. That works. Have a good one, guys.